Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Energetics Podcast. I am your host, Kara Bunde Dunn, and today we are going to talk about something we all face, the moments in our life when something feels too big, too hard, or just too far out of reach for us to do something about it. So, like the things that you really want to do, like there's that desire in your heart, but there's a little voice inside of you that, like that little mean gremlin that's like, what if I can't do it? What if I fail? What if I don't make it? Because, here's the truth. Here's something I want you to know. When we step into the frequency of possibility, we raise our vibration. We expand what is possible in our own reality. It's like we're living in the matrix and we can make our own reality real by just allowing ourselves to align to that frequency. And you're like, okay, that's cool. That's a lot of buzzwords, but like, how does it actually work, Kara? So I really wanted to spend this episode talking about the energy of doing hard things because we can do hard things. And I have this little beautiful quote that I have in my office at all times. And I decided to bring it like a little closer into the camera so that it's always here in the background if you're watching this podcast. And it says, "What if I fall? But oh, my darling, what if you fly?" And there is such magic in allowing ourselves to be in the frequency of possibility versus the frequency of fear and doubt. And it's tricky. It's really tricky because energy doesn't shift automatically. It shifts because of our thoughts, our feelings, and our behaviors. And if we have the attitude of, you know what, I'm going to try anyway. I might not make it, but at least I'm going to try. And having that try attitude signals to the universe that, hey, I am open. I am ready. I trust myself and I trust you, angels and guides, by the way. So let's do this thing. So, what does it mean to align your energy with this idea of expansion? To think about our choices and act with courage over comfort or faith over fear. And I used to come from the business world, as many of you know. And I use this quote in the business world all the time. In fact, it was in, I can't tell you, probably every presentation. It was like on billboards, like I'm totally into it. And it says, whether you think you can or you think you can't, you're right. And it's by Henry Ford. And, my grandpa drove a Ford truck. I actually bought a Ford truck just to, feel closer to my grandpa. I don't have it anymore, but I was like, yeah, I'm going to drive a Ford too. And everybody used to always think the truck was my husband's. And they're like, is that your husband's truck? I'm like, no, that F-150 is mine. Thanks. Side note. Anyhow, so of course I had to find a Henry Ford quote to weave into this podcast. But whether you think you can or you think you can't, you're right. And the reason that is true is because what you think and what you feel and what you expect to have happened becomes the reality you live in. Have you ever had people that are like, this is going to go bad. It's going to go so bad. Oh my God, it's going to be so freaking terrible. This is going to be the worst thing ever. And then it is. And they're like, see, told ya. Or you have other people that are like, it's going to work out. It's going to work out. And they hit like a road bump after road bump after road bump. And then they find their way like to the end of the journey. And they're like, see, I told you it was going to work out. And what that means is like we're future casting our reality by the way that we look at situations and how we think and feel and experience things. So I thought, you know what? What better way to mirror this than to tell you a personal story about me doing something really, really hard? Um, as many of you know, and I'll have a later episode about this, I have been on a health journey and a weight loss journey. And it's been a long road of just discovering myself and figuring myself out and having some trust in who I am as a person. And we go to Colorado almost every summer. My husband's parents have a beautiful home there. And it's a great place for us to go. And they happen to live, or part of the time live in Frisco, which is a mountain town up in Summit County. So Lake Dillon, Silverthorne, Frisco, Breckenridge, that's all up in what they call Summit County, Colorado. And behind Frisco is a mountain called Mount Royal. And when Alex and I were dating, I was lighter than I am now and worked out a lot, ran a lot, and I we decided to go like pack a backpack and hike to the top of Mount Royal or see if we could summit it. And it was hard. I distinctly remember the end being like, "Oh my God, are we there? Like this is so freaking hard." And I wasn't sure I was going to make it to the top then. There's some really steep grades. So it is high in altitude. I think 11 or 12,000 feet. It's not a 14,000er like some people do, but it is really high. And then it's also like at the end, like the last third or quarter of it at least is a really steep grade. Like you need hiking poles, you need something to grab onto because the incline is like so steep that you have to at least lean forward as you're going up. And so it's really intense. But it'd been a while, like almost 20 years. So I kind of was delulu and forgot at how hard it was. I just, like it's like anything like having a baby after a while you're like it wasn't that bad was it, or like an infant and that screams and cries all the time in the moment you're like oh my god I'm dying, but then like 10 years later you're like oh yeah I don't know I got through it. It's like time sometimes like disillusions the intensity or hardness of something. So, anyhow, I was like, we were in Colorado and I had gone on a hike almost every day and spent time in nature, meditating. It's just such a beautiful experience. In fact, I feel like tingles in my body right now. My angels are like, I remember that. So packed a backpack, a bottle of water, a snack. And I was like, okay, I'm going to just see how this goes. I'm just gonna give myself an opportunity to hike as far as I can go. So I wasn't feeling that great that day. Like my knee had hurt. I was like kind of a little sore. And I didn't know if I could make it or not, but I wanted to at least try. But think about your mindset when you're starting something and you're like, I don't know if I can do this or not. Like, I don't know if today's the day or not. And I'm going to do something. I'm going to give it a go. And I'm going to try to play some of the audio from my cell phone because I caught video footage of myself on this hike. And I wanted to share some of those moments with you guys, like in the raw, in the real, and see so that you can like go on the journey with me. Okay, so we'll see. Hopefully, this works. So the first video is the very beginning where I just say, okay, I'm going to do this. We're going to see what happens. Hold on. It's muted. Let me try again. Hold on. Here we go. Welcome to podcasting and, all the things. Okay, ready? We're going to try again.
So I'm on a hike, Mount Royal Trail in Colorado. Like, so stinking pretty. Do like a full circle perimeter. I have no idea how far I'm going to go, but I thought I'd document it and bring you with me. I am just 10 minutes in and already feel like I'm sucking pond water. So wish me luck.
Okay, so I had some doubt. Can you hear it in my voice? There was like, oh my gosh, a little doubt, a little fear. Can I do it? I don't know. I'm already sucking pond water because the freaking altitude does something for us, like Midwesterners that don't know how to like live in the mountains. But then I go a little further and I keep going and I was like, okay, I'm just gonna stop. We're gonna just like take some rests. I'm not trying to win any awards here. I'm not trying to beat a certain time. I'm just trying to see if I can survive this thing.
All right, taking my first water break. Holy crap. So everything in my head is screaming, like, my knees hurt. There's no way. I don't want to keep going. I don't know how far I'm going to go, but it's not going to be very far today because I just don't feel like it. But I also have this part of me that's like, Kara, keep going. Just keep going.
Okay, so what happened for me in that experience was I was battling my fear and my courage at the same time. And I'm so glad I documented this as I went because that is what happens for freaking all of us when we're doing something very hard. We have this like tug and pull back and forth of, I want to do it, but I don't know if I can. I have all this fear and doubt inside of me. And but then we also have this like little angel on our shoulder that's like, you can do it, you can do it. And what I decided in that moment, and really did, my knees were hurting. I'd been hiking a lot that whole week. And I was like, I don't know, man, I'm just not feeling that great. But I decided that I was going to try and that I didn't care how long it took, but I was willing to give the experience a go. I was willing to try it, even though I wasn't sure how to do it. So here's my next stop.
Point two. Taking a little break. People are passing me left and right. And guess what? I don't give a fuck. Because I'm not ready to quit yet. Stopping point two.
And that moment when I stopped for another water break, probably another 30, 45 minutes into the hike, something like that, um, I really did get this like I don't know, gremlin that was like, "Look at everybody around you. They're going so much faster than you." I will say not all of them made it to the top because I saw some of them walking back down way before they were at the top. However, I started comparing myself. And I truly believe that if you are doing something hard that you're not sure you can do, whatever that is for you. Leave your job, a physical challenge, a mental challenge, connecting with your angels and guides, what I teach you, whatever it is, like if you're comparing your journey to someone else's, it is not going to be, it's not going to be the same. It's not, it's going to be stripping you of the joy of the experience. And it just puts you in a really low vibrational state. Like, oh no, why am I not as good as this person? Oh no. And I recognized it. As soon as I stopped recording that video, I was like, okay, Kara, you can choose to stay in the frequency of comparison or you can just keep going. You pick. You get a pick. So I decided to just keep going. I was going to make it to the top. But there is a part where I was probably like three-quarters of the way in where I talked about that steep part, like that giant incline part. Well, when I got to that part, I literally was like, okay, take 100 steps up this freaking mountain, then stick your poles in the ground, lean on them, and breathe for like 30 seconds and catch your breath. And it was really the only thing that worked. Like I'd been working out, I'd been walking, I'd been running. I thought I could do this. Like I really didn't I am just like I don't know. I had all these doubts, but yet I had all this confidence too. Like do you know what I'm talking about? Where you're like caught in the conundrum of both where you're like I know I can do this and you're like wait, can I do this? And you're like back and forth in your brain. Well, I was like okay, just go. 100 steps and go. And so I broke down my goal into little bitty beats of things that I could do. I could take one step and then I could keep going. And I could take one step and I could keep going. And that worked for me because that incline part was really, really freaking steep. But I eventually, one foot in front of the other, like got close to the top, made it pretty close to where I was. And then I do say this. Are you ready?
Since I was 20 years old, I've only made it to the top once. I was in my 20s, like 20 years ago. So we'll see. See if I can make it. But this is the farthest I have gone in 20 years.
So I documented that I had made it like all the way through that really, really hard part. And I was super proud of myself. And then here you go. You can hear the wind
Down there.
way down there.
That's it.
That's where I
Made
started.
it to the top. I wasn't always sure I would, but I did. I'm just really proud of myself. That's all.
And I was really freaking proud of myself, honestly. And I am so proud of you too, because I know there is something you are facing right now and you're not sure if you're going to make it through it or not. And you're stuck in this do I choose fear or do I choose faith and belief in myself? Do I choose to listen to the doubt or do I choose to take courageous action and listen to the determination instead? Do I choose to limit myself and all the things that are possible for me? Or do I believe in an unlimited possibility and future for myself? And so sometimes when we're on this climb, this journey called life, and we're trekking along, you can either stop and say, what if I fail? What if I can't do it? Or you can step into the I am energy, like that I am, and that God spark within you. And you can say, if there is a whisper inside of me, it is here for a reason. And I'm going to listen to it. And I knew when I got to the top of that summit, I'm getting a little emotional now. It wasn't just about the view, It was a reminder for me. It was like symbolic that what we desire in our heart is there for a reason. It exists within the quantum field. And all we have to do is align our frequency to it. We just have to rise up to the desire that is in our heart already. You don't have to want someone else's life. You don't have to want like something if you're like I don't even want that. Like cool. That means it's not a desire for you and it's not in your quantum field. It's not the frequency you're meant to rise up to. But if it is something you desire in your heart, whether it is to have a healthier relationship with your partner, whether it is to step into your spiritual gifts, whether it is to start your own company or job, or take a leap of faith in your career, or start a family, or take a big trip, or whatever it is, if there's that desire in your heart for it, it's going to take courage because our ego will play small. Our ego will keep us safe, and our ego will tell us all the reasons why we can't freaking do something. Maybe it's an addiction you're struggling with and you want to overcome it. And you're like, oh my God, I just want to kick this cigarette habit, or I want to kick this drinking. Like, I don't like how I feel when I drink. I don't have a problem with it. I'm not an alcoholic. I just don't want to drink anymore. And sometimes I feel peer pressure to do it, but I don't know. I don't know. I just, go to the football tailgate and I can't help myself, or whatever it is for you. But I will say it takes an act of courage to overcome the fear. The fear doesn't just go away. The only way your fear goes away is by taking a small step forward. So, I love a little quote. So here's another one for you. It's by Martin Luther King Jr. You don't have to see the whole staircase, just take the first step. And sometimes life is a little like that. When we think back and we reflect and we go, oh my gosh, if I knew how hard this was going to be, maybe I wouldn't have done it. But I'm glad I did because how I feel now, I would love to bottle up and feel all the time. So I'm just going to ask you to reflect right now and think about where in your life are you letting fear keep you stuck? Where in your life are you letting fear limit you? What is calling you forward? What is urging you to have some action, but you just can't because you're doubting yourself? So maybe it's a conversation that needs to happen with a loved one or someone you care deeply about. Maybe it's that dream in your heart that you've been putting off. Like for me, was like leaving the corporate world and going on this entrepreneurial journey of working with all of you beautiful people and being in this space. But there is a version of you that's being asked to rise up because you have that desire. That's why. That's how you know that there's a version of you waiting on the other side of this obstacle. And when fear shows up, because it freaking will, my friends, there is no way to not have fear come into our human existence. We're 3D humans having a human experience. We're souls having a human 3D experience. That's what I meant to say. And part of the human experience is to work through challenges and obstacles. So fear is designed to be a roadblock for us. And when it happens, you call in your team in spirit. I'm telling you, I was like, angels, guides, I need your help. We are going to get to the top of this freaking mountain one step at a time. Ask your guides to walk with you. Remind yourself that you're stronger than this obstacle you're in right now. And ask your angels and guides to stay with you and to help you raise your vibration into possibility, into the future state of what you want for yourself. Like that is the true journey of the human experience and what we're meant to do. So I always just think of fear when it happens. I'm like, oh, thank you. You're here because I'm doing something new. I'm doing something I didn't think I could do. And fear only shows up when I'm pushing myself to go through something challenging or an obstacle that I need to get over through whatever you want to say. But fear only shows up when that happens. Fear does not show up when you're in your easy street everyday life. Fear shows up when you're uncomfortable, when you're trying something new. And that gremlin little monster on your shoulder will say, don't do it. Stay safe. You don't really want that, do you? But frickin' some part of you says, I do want that. I do want the dream, the desire in my heart. So I always say, thank you, fear. Thank you for showing me I'm doing something new. I'm doing something uncomfortable and I'm about to freaking grow and stretch. Let's go, baby. I mean, that's truly what I say to like that. That's how I speak to her too. I was like, oh, okay. Hi. Thanks. Glad you're here. But I'm freaking doing something magical. That's why you're here. So let's go, baby. Like for real. I just speak to her like she needs a little chit chat and action talking to her. So I really want you to just take that time. Take that time. Where is fear blocking you? Where are you holding yourself back? And what opportunities are on the other side of that for you? And I also just want to let you know too, if you're ready to learn how to connect with your guides, talk to your angels, raise your vibrational frequency to meet that vibration of your dreams and your desires and what you're going after in your life, I have a brand new free on demand workshop called Talk to Your Guides. And it is awesome. It is teaching you how to open your own sacred channel, how to overcome fear, how to overcome limiting the beliefs, how to be in the vibration of your angels and guides, and then how to receive those messages and that support. And so you can find it at karmicleader.com/resources. It's always on my resources page of my website. I also have an activation guide that goes with it. So I would download both of them. They're both free. They both have meditations within them. You'll get 3 free meditations just by downloading these 2 free tools that I have available for you. And I do want to just say thank you. You took your time to listen to this podcast, to be on this journey with me. And if you listened to this episode in particular, it means that you're doing the inner work. It means that your soul is whispering to you and saying, let's do this. Let's raise our vibration. Let's raise the vibration of the planet and let's be in the collective consciousness. Your dreams and your desires are worth it. And if you don't have anyone in your life who will tell you this, I will be that person for you. Your dreams matter. You are worthy of your dreams and you absolutely can achieve anything your heart desires because if it is in your heart where your soul lives and resides, it is there for a reason. So I hope you enjoyed this episode. Stay tuned for another episode of the Energetics Podcast. Until next time, my friends, I love you.